Hey everyone, it's been a while, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be reviewing red clay. Now this is the stuff that Craig Dabler makes. He's kind enough to have sent me some to try out, so I'm going to do a little casting with his clay today and let you know what I think about it. The red clay versus the Delft clay that I normally use. So it's a little bit different today. Let's get into it. Alright. Smells a little bit different to Delft Clay. Just a little. It smells a little bit coffee, like a little bit of coffee in it. Isn't that strange? So I will be casting something really basic today because it's more about experimenting with the feel of the clay and less about what I'm making. So I'm going to be casting
this little jump ring component. Okay, let's put our little component in a little ramekin, keep it separate so it doesn't get lost. Just break up the clay a little bit. Let's start with the male side first. Let's pack it, pushing it down with our fingers to make sure that that surface is nice and flat, because that's the surface we're going to be using. Get a little bit more clay. Let's compress that. If we have any extra, let's just cut that off because we want that surface to be flush. There we go. Let's get some talcum powder or whatever you use for your barrier powder and paste that on there to stop the two clay halves from sticking together. Let's grab our object. There we go. I'm going to pop it sort of about there because I know I'm going to be pouring through this hole in the side here. I'm going to pop it so it's a little bit closer to it. And push that in just a little bit. Pop the lady on top, making sure that giant hole lines up because that's our registration mark. We'll get some loose crumbly bits of clay, using our fingers, press it down around that object. We'll make sure it's nice and tightly packed, no air bubbles, no cracks and crevices. And then we can just put some handfuls in. So far this clay is feeling pretty much the same as Delft clay. Interestingly, it's sticking to my hands a little bit, and the Delft clay doesn't normally. Chop off that extra. I have to wipe my hands. All clean. Let's open that up nice and evenly. Wonderful. Looks like a good impression. Just gently pull that jump ring out. I am going to intentionally knock out the center of these jump rings. The silver's it's a bit lazy, cools down much too quickly, and it doesn't want to form those rings, but it will want to form a little disc, and then we can just drill a hole through it. It's nice and easy. Let's create our sprue hole and funnel. This is a little trick that Craig taught me with his YouTube videos, is using your thumb to create that funnel. So easy. And then you use something that is about 6 millimeters in diameter to create your sprue hole. And that is my paintbrush, the back of my paintbrush. You do have to be mindful that you haven't disrupted the clay inside of that impression. And if you feel like you have, you can just get your object and you can gently press it back in. Just pat it back in, but don't press too hard. You don't want to over press it. You'll make it a deeper version than this. I want this exactly. If I wanted this a thicker version, if I wanted this jump ring to be wider, I would definitely press it in deeper to both sides. But in this case, I just want it to be exactly this replicated. So I'm not going to press it too deep, just really lightly, just to make sure that that impression is crisped up again. And that's all I do. Let's create an air vent. I really want to encourage the silver to form in these jump rings right here, the little jump rings coming off the big jump ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 channels that lead to one air vent. So I'm just going to do a little like whoop and a little whoop, and they're going to come and meet down here somewhere. There we are. That's where our air is going to escape, this air vent down here. And all 3 of them should be sucked with the force of 1. I could do 3 separate air vents. I could do one just leading off here, here, and down here. As long as there's a way for the air to escape, it doesn't really matter. Let's open that up and make sure it's really there. Let's close it up and cast. So far, this clay feels pretty much exactly like Delft Clay. So I'm quite happy, I'm quite at home. Just giving the 2 clay halves a little bit of a squeeze together to make sure that they are tightly pressed together so that we're not going to get a big line of parting. We don't want a big seam because that means there's more cleanup. And we want to minimize cleanup because we want to be very efficient. All right, ready to cast. Safety glasses on. I'm using a size 7 tip that I've modified a little bit, so I've cut off the end of it so that the flame's a little bit bigger. Don't cut too much off, you don't want the flame too big. All right, gas first, then oxygen. Let's get this flame melting. When it comes to how much metal to use, I always guess. I go, okay, I think I need 5 grams, so let's do 10 grams. It's always good to have extra. Need a big, hot, angry flame. Oh, that's just melted so quick and easy. Okay, rest it on the flask. Angle it so it's about to pour in but not quite, and then all you're going to do is put down the hole. 1, 2, 3. And I had more metal than I needed, but that's okay. Just shoots off the side there. Take that off. Let's take this over to my dumping area. I've opened up my window to let out any of the smoke. I'm also about to put a mask on. Let's open this up. Wonderful. I don't know if it's because I've cast something smaller than a ring or a pendant, but it has barely smoked. I don't know if that's because Craig's clay is a little bit different. This red clay is different, or if I've just cast something quite small and it didn't smoke much. There we go. There's my little finding. And all I have to do is chop off these air vents, the sprue, and then drill these holes out a little bit. And I'll give it a really light file along the line of parting. And then it's into the tumbler and it's all good, ready to be used.
Okay, so that's the casting. Looks really good. It's got quite a fine sand casting pattern to it, texture, which is great. Easy to clean up.
The burnt clay came out of it very easily, just like it does with the Delft clay. So far I feel like it's pretty much exactly the same as Delft. The only thing I spotted that was different was the smell. Yeah, so far 10 out of 10. Quite happy with it. Maybe I should try pushing the clay a little bit further. Maybe I should do something more than just making a replica. Maybe I should do some carving into it. Give that a go. Let's try doing a ring with sort of like a mountainy carved out top and a stone in it. Let's see how the clay holds up to that. Let's open it up and see. A little bit more smoke this time. I did expect that because it is a bigger casting. And the breeze is blowing all the smoke into the room. That's great. This is why I should have a fan here sucking it and blowing it out the window. So I do notice the burnt clay smells quite different to the Delft clay. But as far as texture goes, it looks pretty much the same as the Delft clay. So let's get this burnt clay out. Yeah, it comes out just the same as Delft. Nice and easy.
I think red clay, which is the stuff that Craig Dabler in the USA has created, is amazing. It's pretty much just like Delft clay. Like I said, the biggest difference I've found so far is the smell. When you're using it to create your mold, it's got quite a pleasant aroma compared to Delft clay. It has a little bit more of a chemical smell, where this, like I keep saying, smells a little bit like coffee. It's really nice. And when it comes to the burnt clay, the smell of it while it's smoking, it does have a different smell again. Just bad. The same as Delft clay, but a different kind of bad. I'm very happy with this clay. I would 100% recommend it. You can buy it from Craig on his website, which I'll add into the description. I'll put a link in there, so anybody who wants to buy some of his clay can jump on there and grab some. 10 out of 10, big thumbs up. Thank you very much, Craig, for sending me some of your clay so that I can try it out. I'm blown away with how amazing it is, and I think maybe I'll be changing suppliers. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.